Right, so as I'm sure you can gather, this is going to be about stretching. I'm going to be talking about two different types of stretching. I think firstly I'll just talk about each type of stretching and benefits, when potentially they should be used, or everyone's got their own opinions and ways that things work for them. This is my personal opinion. This is based off of my own performance, also what I've read and learned through the years. So first I'm going to talk about static stretching, which is obviously basically where you'd hold the muscle. So for example, this static stretch, hold that for 30 to 60 seconds, however long you decide to hold it for. That will be more based around flexibility. Now obviously the more flexible you are, the better you can perform. So it does have benefits. Also, it is really good to be flexible just in general life, because you find yourself not being as weak, because a lot of the time when you get in pains, it is down to weakness or tightness, and obviously by being more flexible and by stretching, you're not going to be as tight. So it can have a lot of benefits, especially the lower limbs. So you know, not many people stretch their legs out, their hamstrings, their quads, their calves, their ankles, their glutes, their hips. No one ever stretches down here. No one's, you know, and everyone's sitting a lot, so obviously you get very stiff, and that can have a massive negative effect on just everyday life. People get lower back pains, leg pains, and it does lead into the upper body as well. So it's quite important to do static stretching. Personally, I'd like to static stretch once to twice a day, sometimes more, depending on how I feel. And I will stretch literally my traps. I'll stretch from the top down, and that will take me probably about 10-15 minutes out of my day, and I'll do that first thing in the morning and sometimes before bed. And it seems crazy, but I'll be honest with you, it does make a massive difference to your day. You're not as tight, you're not as stiff, your mood's better, you feel like you're kind of a little bit fresher and freer. One thing I do not do is static stretching before any type of activity. When I say before, I mean directly before. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of studies and stuff like that show that by actually stretching the muscle, you can inhibit your performance. Your power output can be reduced, and personally I think it does make sense. I think with static stretching you get more flexible at static stretching, so therefore, you know, in general, by doing these movements you are more flexible. And doing it before training, you want to be getting warm, you want to be warming your muscles up, you want to be getting the muscles firing. So by static stretching, you're almost cooling yourself down, if anything. So it's no good getting on a cardio machine, doing stretching, and then going to lift weights, because you're just basically, you see the understanding of it can make a difference. So personally, as I always recommend, is dynamic stretching, which is going to be movement based. So for example, upper body, you're just coming across, getting a stretch, not ballistic stretching. So ballistic stretching is where you try to completely overreach, whereas you just really, to be honest with you, you just want to get the muscles warm, the joints warm. Now obviously the benefit of that is that your core temperature is going to raise, your muscles are going to start firing, the ones that you're obviously about to use. So you're almost preparing the muscles a little bit more, instead of just kind of getting a stretch and then coming back, and then it's kind of like in its, you know, it's a stretched muscle and it's potentially more flexible, but it's not actually firing. And you know, from personal experience, dynamic stretching has always allowed me to perform better and warm up better. So as I say, with dynamic stretching, you are going to put, you know, your muscles and your joints, you're preparing them for whatever you're about to do. Running, I mean, you should really look at, if you're about to go for a run, you don't really want to be doing static stretching directly before. You do really want to start getting their muscles going, because, you know, even you see football players, knees up, all that kind of stuff. And when I used to play football, I never used to static stretch before. I used to static stretch after, and I used to do dynamic stretching before, and only dynamic stretching. When everyone was doing static stretch, I just wouldn't do it. And I barely ever got injured from a pulling a muscle kind of perspective. It was mostly due to bad tackles or falling over, kicking a ball and hurting myself. But the main thing is to just kind of understand what you're actually doing before. So I think a lot of people, they just do it because they think they have to, or they see other people doing it. So my recommendations are static stretching, definitely to be done daily. As I say, mainly focus on your static stretching maybe away from your training, so you're more just increasing your general day-to-day flexibility, removing any tightness in the muscles, and just generally loosening yourself up a little bit. And then dynamic stretching, and you can do static stretching post-workout, so to actually cool the muscle down. It's not going to have any negative effect then. I personally can't see any issue of static stretching post-workout. It's just pre-workout or pre-exercise activity. I do kind of think that, you know, you could, I've done it before where I used to static stretch and I used to be more prone to injury than what I was not to. And then when I started doing dynamic stretching, I found myself being a lot more efficient while I was training and not actually feeling any real issues. So that's through personal experience, and that's why I did actually look into the research behind it, so that I wasn't just, you know, it wasn't just like I read that and then I thought of it. I was like, why is this? So I found out the best way for me, and now I've got my own routine. I will put up my routines and stuff like that eventually, but at the moment I've just got to find the time really. So yeah, so dynamic stretch to start your workout, static stretch to maybe finish your workout, static stretch first thing in the morning, static stretch before bed. You know, just take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your muscles, because in this day and age not many people stand. A lot of people sit down all day, and although people make out that they're always up around moving and whatever rubbish, the fact is if they timed how long they sat down to how long they stood up, including what more like coming home and stuff like that, you're sitting down a lot of your day. So it's quite important just to kind of stretch yourself out, stretch your hamstrings and all stuff like that, because as you get older you will get tighter, and you know, there's too many people that are under the age of 30 that have got back pains at the moment, so, and there's no surprise. I have done a little blog which kind of states a lot of this anyway, so if you want to give that a read, if you want to have a little read over it, if you missed some information or maybe I've missed some information, have a little look over that. If this is something that's benefited you or you think that it could benefit other people, please like, share, tag, anything. Every time people, you know, like and share it, it does promote it as well, which is good, because I get more interest from people when it comes to actually learning and understanding some of this stuff that I'm talking about, because it is important, because it's something so simple as stretching can make a complete difference to someone's workout, and it has done to many of my clients, let alone people that I just tell about it. So hopefully that's just giving you a bit of value. That's it. Take care.